Hi, welcome to Learning Monkey. I am Vikram. In this class, we will try to start. We will have an introduction to the patterns. So, this is our very first class on the patterns. Our suggestion is to put your maximum efforts, maximum concentration from these concepts, because these concepts will help you a lot in building the logic for the questions that were asked in the placement examination. In the placement written examinations, you will be asked to do the programs for some set of questions. So you will be given with some questions, and for that we have to develop the program. So in order to develop those programs very fast within the given time, we need to have a lot of practice on the patterns. So the concepts of patterns, the concepts of the programming, the logic for the patterns will help you a lot in writing the programs which are asked in the interviews. So our suggestion, please try to concentrate more on this concept so that you can have better understanding of the concepts. So we are going to start with the simple patterns, which is half pyramid pattern. In our later concepts, we are going to develop logic for full pyramid, diamond shaped, rhombus shaped, and hollow squares. So we are going to solve lots of problems on these patterns. With the understanding of the logic of the patterns will help you a lot in developing the logic for the programs which were asked in the placements. So now coming to this class, we are going to solve these two patterns. Both the patterns are of same type, which is half pyramid pattern, but the only difference is here the stars will get printed and here the numbers will get printed. That is the only difference. With a simple change in the printf statement, we can convert this program to this program, but the logic for the program is same. For both these programs, we are going to have the same logic within that program. Within that program, with a simple change in the printf statement, we can get this program. So we will try to understand the logic for this program, and we will try to change that program so that the same program is going to print in this way. Now coming to this, here is the program for this pyramid construction. This pyramid pattern will get printed in this program. Here is that program. Now we will try to understand this program. Okay, here, so what is the pattern? What is the pattern like? What is the logic behind this pattern is? So that we will try to understand. Here we are given with the variable. These are the variable declarations. One of the variable is rows, the number of rows that needs to be printed in the output, and here is a variable called ij. These variables are used in the for loops. We are going to use nested loops. Why we are going to use nested loops? What is the logic behind the use of nested loops? That we will try to understand. So the first variable is rows. So what it states? Why we have to use that variable called rows? So in the user interface, we are going to ask the end user enter the number of rows to be printed. So in the pattern, we are having how many rows? So what is the pattern that we have? The pattern that we have is the pattern that we have to print is, this is the pattern. This is the pattern that we would like to print in the final output. Here in this pattern, how many rows are there? Here we are having, so in order to construct a pyramid of particular height, so the number of rows are to be determined by the end user. If the end user gives five rows, which means we should have 5 rows with increase in 1 star in the every row. So how we have to construct? So the logic behind this pyramid construction is, here we are having 4 rows, and each row with the increase in each and every row, the number of stars in the rows are getting increased. So in the first row we are having one star, in the second row we are having 2 stars, in the third row we are having 3 stars, and in the fourth row we are having 4 stars. With that logic, we are going to construct the pattern so that it is going to look like half pyramid. So that is the logic behind this entire program. So the number of rows that are to be printed in order to construct a pyramid of particular height, So the number of rows are to be given by the end user. So that is the reason why we are going to take the variable called rows, and we are going to ask the end user to provide the number of rows to be printed, and that will get stored in a variable called rows. Okay, so now this is the logic of the program. This is the logic of the program. What this logic states is here, for I is equal to 1 to number of rows, the first for loop, we are going to use nested loops. Why we are going to use nested loops is, nested loops, the concept has already been discussed in our C programming language. If you haven't watched our concept, our playlist on C programming, please watch that. Okay, so now here is the first for loop, and within this loop we have, if you have another for loop, it is what we call it as nested loop. So this nested loop, what is the use of taking this nested loop is, what the first for loop will do is, so the logic behind taking this for loop is, it is going to count the number of rows. The number of rows that is given by the end user is 5. For example, the variable is getting filled with the value of 5, which means the number of rows that should be there in the pyramid, the size of the pyramid, the height of the pyramid is given by the end user as 5, which means that we are going to count the number of rows. So for each and every iteration, we are going to increment the number of rows. The number of rows will get incremented. So what is the logic for this? What is the need of using this internal for loop? So in this nested for loop, we are having two for loops. What this internal for loop will do? What this internal for loop will do is, it is going to print the number of rows, number of columns in that particular row. For example, if we are in the first row, so what is the logic behind this pattern is, if we are in the first row, we have to print 1 star. Okay, so we are in the first row means the value of I is equal to 1. Okay, in the next iteration, so whenever we come into this for loop, what this internal for loop will do is, according to the number, the row in which we are, so based upon that, those many number of stars will get printed. So what is the logic of this for loop? J is equal to 1. So every time we come into this loop, so this for loop is going to iterate for how many number of times? That is the logic that we have to understand. So this for loop is going to iterate for I number of times. Okay, if it is first iteration, the value of I is equal to 1. If it is second iteration, the value of I is equal to 2. So value of I is equal to 2 means how many times does this internal for loop will iterate? This internal for loop will iterate for 2 times, because the value of j is less than or equal to the value of I. Okay, so because the value of I is equal to 2, so this for loop is going to iterate for 2 times. Because we are in the second row, in each and every iteration we are going to print the value of star. Because we are in the second row, how many times will it get iterated? This will get iterated for 2 times. In every iteration it is going to print star. Okay, so now for the value of I is equal to 2, so this for loop is going to iterate for 2 times. Every time it is going to print the value star. So out of this for loop, it is going to print the next line. So what is the job of this for loop, external for loop? The job of the external for loop is to count the number of rows. Counting the number of rows will happen with this new line statement. So after completion of one row, we are going to go to the next line. In the next line, again this loop will iterate for I is equal to 3. So we have taken for I is equal to 2. In the next line, the iteration is going to I is equal to 3, and for that this for loop is going to iterate for 3 times. Every time it is going to print the columns. So this internal for loop is going to print the columns, and this external for loop is going to count the rows. See here, it is going to, this for loop is going to count the rows, and this for loop is going to print the star value in the columns. Okay, so now whenever the value of I is equal to 1, this loop will start from j is equal to 1, j less than or equal to I. What is the value of I here? The value of I is 1. So this loop is going to iterate for one time, and in every iteration it is going to print a star value. So the first star has been printed. Now we are going to move from this row to this row. We are going to count the number of rows by using this external for loop. That is important to understand. I am stressing more on this point because these points are very much important to understand. Okay, so now as and when we are going to count this value, the value of I is equal to 2, the value of I will become 2 now. Value of I will become 2 now. Now this for loop is going to start from j is equal to 1, and it is going to end up to j is equal to 2, which means it is going to do 2 iterations. J is equal to 1 one time, j is equal to 2 one time. In the next iteration it is going to become, the value of j is going to become 3, which is greater than I. Okay, so now here in this for loop we are going to print the columns. In the first iteration we are going to print this column, and in the second iteration we are going to print this column. So this is row, so here we have columns. Okay, so in the second iteration we are going to print these two columns, in the sense we are going to fill these columns with star symbols, and after that we are going to come out of this for loop and we are going to print new line. Print new line means we are going to count the next row. The counting of the rows is done by this for loop, and the printing of the columns is getting done by this internal for loop. Now the value of I is equal to 3. From 2 we have shifted it to 3. So which means that this for loop is going to iterate for 3 times. What is the value of I? The value of y has been changed from 2 to 3. So this for loop is going to iterate I number of times. Each time it is going to iterate for I number of times, and in each and every iteration it is going to print the column with, it is going to fill the column with stars. That is the logic for creating a half pyramid. Now what needs to be printed is decided by this printf statement. What needs to be printed? In our first pattern we are going to construct the half pyramid by using stars. In our next pyramid, so what is our next pyramid? So we are going to solve 2 pyramids in this. The next pyramid is, so this is our next pyramid. So in this what we have to print? We have to print the value of j. See here, so in this for loop, in order to print the pyramid with stars, what we have done is we have taken the printf as a star. But here, in order to print the pyramid with numbers, what we have to do is, here this printf statement will get changed to printf %d. Here we have to print the value of j. Okay, so with this printf what happens is the value of j will get printed. In the first iteration it is going to print the value of j as 1. In the second iteration it is going to print. So in the second iteration of this external for loop, this loop is going to iterate for 2 times. Every time it is going to print the value of j. Initially the value of j is 1. In the next increment the value of j is equal to 2. So the 2 will get printed. In the next iteration, this the value of I is equal to 3. Here, whenever the value of I is equal to 3, this internal for loop is going to iterate for 3 times. In each and every iteration, we are going to print the value of j. So value of j, here the value of j is going to start from j is equal to 1, and this will iterate for 3 times. The value of j is going to be incremented from j is equal to 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So 3 times it will get iterated, and each time the value of j will get printed. So each time the value of j will get printed means 1, 2, 3. In the fourth iteration of this external for loop, this internal for loop will iterate for 4 times. In each and every iteration of this for loop, it is going to print the value of j. It is 1, 2, 3 and 4, and similarly for the next iteration it is going to iterate for 5 times. For each and every iteration, of this internal for loop, it is going to print the value of j. If you give the printf statement as star, the star values will get printed. In order to construct the pyramid shape, half pyramid shape, all you need to understand is these 2 for loops. This for loop is to count the number of rows, and this for loop is to print the values in each and every row. That is very important. Whenever you are counting the number of rows, for each and every row we have to print the columns. That printing job is done by this internal for loop, and the counting job is done by this external for loop. This is the logic of half pyramid. Whatever the shape may be, the logic of the half pyramid is this for loops, these 2 for loops. This point is very, very important to understand. How to practice this is, you try to write the program on your own and try to check whether you are getting the right output or not.